Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Moving Markets Podcast. It is Friday. Friday's finally here, June the 12th, 2026. You probably heard the opening bell right there. The stock market just opened up. We are off and running. We've got a couple of, I would say, really good things happening. We got a couple of things happening that I don't absolutely love. But the market itself is off to a pretty good start this morning. No way to argue that. Oddly, the Nasdaq, and I say oddly, I mean I think we've kind of been told and telegraphed the reasons why the Nasdaq is not doing as well, and the idea or the thesis is that there are people rotating out of tech stocks to free up money to get into the SpaceX IPO. Sometime later this morning, SpaceX, pun intended, will officially launch. I guess there's some type of auction or bid process that goes on prior to the shares actually becoming available on the stock exchange. I don't know the specifics of exactly how that works. I just know that sometime later today, and later today meaning soon, like in the next hour, a couple hours, SpaceX will officially launch, and you will have your you got that big no data to display sign right there in the middle, because it's here, they're ready for it, but like literally nothing has happened yet. So expected to IPO around $135 a share, but there's already some pre-market action suggesting it's going to jump right up to about $180 a share. We'll see what actually happens with that. But we've got AMD having a nice move to the upside, good for our portfolio. We've got Applied Digital having futures were down on it. It's having a nice move to the upside now. That's a good thing for our portfolio. Caterpillar up above. Caterpillar, we rolled it out yesterday, and now here we are back above 900. And it would be such an easy close right now this morning if those options were in today's expiration. But you can't go into your Friday that close to the money and just hope that it goes the right way. So I don't feel like we did the wrong thing by rolling it out into next week. It's just one of those times when you wish you could have had that magic mirror on the wall to tell you, hey, this is not the right move to make at the right time right here. And if only we had known it'd be up, $10 a share right at the open this morning, then it would have been super easy to sit back and say, hey, that's good. That what that's going to do is give us a really, really easy out this morning. So we've got that going on. Nvidia is down. I don't know why. I think it's because so many people have so much money in Nvidia. That's probably taking the brunt of this rotation out of tech to get into something like SpaceX. And I got to tell you, I'm going to be following SpaceX closely. It has been my experience that shortly after an IPO, it is not uncommon for a company to see the price come down quite a bit. And that's kind of what I'm expecting with SpaceX. And I'm going to be watching for a time to get in. I do think I want to be in SpaceX. I think I want to be in it for the long run. I think as soon as you see those option prices become available and settle, I'm either going to do some type of a collar trade, a married put strategy, or possibly some leap options on SpaceX. But it's going to be one of those after the dust settles things, not right out of the gate. I wonder if we put the ticker symbol in here, if there would be any. Yeah, it's expected to launch at 135. It'll be interesting to see when it actually, again, pun intended, when it actually takes off. Let's see. On Nvidia right now, because we got rolled out to next week, sit tight for right now. I'm not going to let Nvidia go much longer. If Nvidia doesn't turn and make a run back to the upside today, we will do something with Nvidia on Monday morning. I won't wait past Monday morning to do something with Nvidia. in the way of adjusting the trade. Don't want it to just go indefinitely, not going the direction we want it to go. And I mean, you can almost indefinitely roll a bull put spread out farther and farther and farther and farther. That's something that's not real hard to do. So we'll take a look at possibly doing that and possibly getting out of Nvidia with something intact, so to speak. We'll see what feels right there, but yeah, it's a tough one where it's at right now. It's frustrating to say the least. It's frustrating. There doesn't seem to be a logical reason for Nvidia to be doing what it's doing, but you can't argue. This is what you're being given. This is what we've got. So you kind of have to take it and live with it, so to speak, and we'll see where it goes. It's only down 20 cents a share right now, about to go positive. It may be that this market simply gains too much momentum for Nvidia to stay down. Well, it was only down 8 cents a share for a couple of seconds, and then now it's down a little bit deeper, but it went down a little over $1 early on, and now it's coming back a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Back down to it's just only 12, 13 cents down a share right now. So it could very possibly go positive in the immediate future. We'll see what happens there, see where we end up with there. But we got it rolled out a week, so there is nothing that needs to be done with it like right now, this second. We'll see what happens later in the day, and if we need to do anything with it. So that's where we find ourselves on a Friday morning. Now, the most important thing I need to talk about today is my schedule next week. Tomorrow morning, I am leaving on a family vacation, family reunion. We've got all but one member of our family. My son-in-law, who is a medical resident, is the only one that's not going to be able to join us. But all the rest of my kids, grandkids are getting together. We're going down to southern Utah for a week. I will not be doing a podcast next week. I will be up every morning, watching what's going on, paying attention to the market, taking care of adjustments. I'll be fairly active on Discord, but I'm not going to. I don't have my home office when I'm away from home. Obviously, I'll have kids and grandkids, and my wife sleeping in the mornings. I'm sure it's a vacation. We want it to be a lot of rest and relaxation. That's one of the main purposes of the vacation. So the reality is I simply will not be available to do the podcast, but I will be paying attention to what the markets are doing. I will be sending trades. I will be sending trade adjustments. None of that is going to be left undone. None of that is going to get ignored. I'm just not going to do a podcast. So I want everyone to be aware of that. And if you send me direct messages, I might not be as quick as I like to be in the follow through on those. When people send me direct messages, I like to be able to follow up as quickly as I can and get a reply or an answer back to you as soon as possible. I may be a little bit slower in getting messages back to people based on what we're doing on any one of those given days. So just be aware of that. That's like I said, I'm leaving early tomorrow morning, won't be back until really late on Thursday, probably late enough on Thursday that I won't be getting up Friday morning and doing a podcast. If that changes and I get home early enough on Thursday evening and feel like I'm going to get a good night's sleep on Thursday and be able to do a podcast in the morning on Friday, I'll send an email out. I'll send something on Discord so that everyone knows that's what I'll be doing and be able to do. But as of right now, I just plan on not doing any podcast next week. All right, I'm going to leave you with that. We could talk geopolitical stuff. It's, allegedly we're at the end of this conflict with Iran. Something's going to get signed over the weekend. I don't trust anybody in the Iranian regime. So I hope whatever gets signed has some things built into it that give the United States a little bit more of an ability to monitor things and take care of things. I think that is going to be absolutely critical for any type of a deal to work. So we'll see how that plays out and see how that goes. I want to be optimistic. It's just not real easy to be optimistic because the Iranian regime, they're just yeah, I just think they're so untrustable that you got to be really, really, really cautious with what goes on there. So we'll see, but hopefully something gets worked out there, and it does get finalized, and we see oil prices starting. Oil prices are down today. That's part of why the markets are up. But as we conclude, when we started this presentation, Dow was up 300 and some odd points, S&P up about 20, and the Nasdaq has been down pretty much since the open. Nasdaq not down as bad as it was earlier, and the Dow and the S&P not up nearly as far as they were earlier. But like I said, we've reported on the companies that we're most closely following, and they are now with Nvidia moving up, they're all doing what we want them to do. Nvidia is now up $90 a share, almost a dollar, or 90 cents a share. Sorry. If Nvidia was up $90 a share, we'd all be cashing in for the day and being done. And on my live, I see that I don't know what just happened in the last minute or two, but the Nasdaq suddenly went way down from where it was, and so did the Dow, and so did the S&P. It looks like the Dow's only up 40 something points right now, and the S&P has gone negative. Interesting development. We'll see. It might just be some early morning jitters and profit taking on some stuff, but yeah, look at that S&P. It was up here, and all of a sudden, just in a matter of a minute or two, it just suddenly plunged down. We'll see what's going on. But we still have AMD up really nicely, still have Applied Digital up really nicely, still have CAT up a little bit, not as much as it was. And Nvidia is a little bit positive now instead of negative. So that's where I'll end. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Like I said, no podcast next week, but I will be very engaged in what's going on and very attuned to the market next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.